This lesson today is going to be on defining and identifying a transversal, corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, linear pair, supplementary, and vertical angles. The first definition we're going to look at is supplementary. By definition, it's two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So here we have an example of B and 114. I want to know that they are supplementary, so therefore I'm going to take B plus 114 and add it to 180 degrees. If I'm able to find a value for B, then I know that together 66 degrees and 114 is supplementary. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Here we have an example that has angle B of 5x plus 3 and then another angle of 22. We want to take the 5x plus 3 plus the 22, add them together and set it equal to 90, and we want to solve for x. 5x plus 25 is equal to 90. We are going to subtract 25, and 5x is equal to 65, and divide by 5, and we find out that x is 13. To take it a step further, we are going to find angle B by solving 5x plus 3 with our value of x. Angle B is equal to 5 times 13 plus 3. Angle B is equal to 65 plus 3, which is 68 degrees. Our next definition is a linear pair. These are two angles that are adjacent, meaning that they are next to one another, and add up to 180 degrees. Here we have an example. Angle A is equal to x plus 21, alongside of, adjacent to, 106 degrees. We are going to take x plus 21 plus 106 and add it and set it equal to 180. X plus 127 is equal to 180. Therefore, x is equal to 53. But I don't want to know what x is. I want to know what angle A is. Angle A is equal to 53 plus 21. Angle A is equal to 74 degrees. Adjacent angles, as mentioned in the previous example, are angles that are next to one another. Here we have two angles that are next to one another. It looks like it is complementary, but we are not sure, so we need to fill in the values that we know. Angle GHY is 41 degrees. Angle YHI is 4x. Together, we know that the entire angle of GHI is 6x plus 19. So we are going to take 4x plus 41 and set it equal to 6x plus 19. We want to bring our x's to the same side. 41 is equal to 4x plus 19. We want to isolate, 2x plus 19. We want to subtract 19. And 2x is equal to 22, so therefore x is equal to 11. One of our other vocabulary words is vertical angles. These are two angles that share a vertex and are diagonally across from one another. They are also congruent. So I can state that 2x is vertical to 54, so 2x is equal to 54. So therefore, x is 27. A transversal, by definition, is a line that crosses two or more lines. A picture, T, is a transversal of line L and line M. Here is line L. Here is line M. A transversal, T, would be the one that crosses through both of them. corresponding angles mean that I have a picture of two lines and a transversal where I have specific angles in my group. These angles are in the same position but different groups. So I'm going to group together these angles up here, and I'm going to group together these angles down here. These are my two groups. If I name this angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, then I can say that angle 1 corresponds with angle 5, that angle 2 corresponds with angle 6, that angle 3 corresponds with angle 7, and that angle 4 corresponds with angle 8. If I was to take this first group in the red and relocate this down here, they would be in the exact same position, hence why they are corresponding. Our next type of angles are interior angles. These are angles that are inside or in between lines that are being crossed. Here are our two lines that are being crossed by a transversal. We will number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The interior angles are going to be the ones that are in between the lines being crossed. These are my interior angles. Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6 are in between my two lines. On the opposite side, we have exterior angles. These are angles that are outside of the lines that are being crossed. So here we have our 8 angles. These are outside of the lines being crossed. So they are going to be angles 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Consecutive angles are angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. So here are our two lines, and here is our transversal. They are going to be the ones that are on the exact same side. So therefore, these are consecutive, these are consecutive, these are consecutive, and these are consecutive. I can also state that 3 and 5 are consecutive and 4 and 6 are consecutive. Alternate angles. These are angles that are on opposite sides of the transversal. So that means they are going to be on the opposite sides of my transversal. So 1 and 2 are alternate. 3 and 4 are alternate. 5 and 6 are alternate. And 7 and 8 are alternate. Now let's take a look at some practice problems. Pause the video and answer this question. In the figure above, line T is intersecting line R and line S. Therefore, the transversal in this figure is T. Pause the video and please name all linear pairs. All of our linear pairs are anything that forms a line. 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 5 and 7, 6 and 8, 7 and 8 are all linear pairs. Pause the video and find all vertical angles. Remember, vertical angles are diagonally across from one another. 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 5 and 8, and 6 and 7. Pause the video and find all corresponding angles. Remember that I can make two groups and position those groups on top of one another, and so I would place those numbers together. 1 and 5, 3 and 7, 2 and 6, 4 and 8 are corresponding angles. Now let's put a couple of things together. Please try this consecutive interior angles. Because it's consecutive, that means that they are on the same side. And because it's interior, that means that they are in between the two lines that are being cut. So we are looking at angles 3 and 5 and angles 4 and 6. Pause the video and find the alternate interior angles. Because these are alternate, that means they are on opposite sides of the transversal, and interior means they are between the two lines. So we are looking at 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. Pause the video and find all alternate exterior angles. That means that they are on opposite sides of the transversal and outside of the two lines being cut. So we are going to be looking at 1 and 8, as well as 2 and 7. Here is a nice picture that you can use as reference for all of the angles together. Please note that same side interior is the same thing as consecutive.